This is the Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, on Alternative Talk, AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage and finance expert, Tina Mitchell.
Welcome back to the Money Hour with your host and mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell, right here on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, July 25th show. I built a network of elite industry professionals, every week sharing their knowledge and expertise to my listeners. If you are hearing my show at a different time or day, you're listening to a rebroadcast, but you can call into the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. You can ask my guests questions, ask for any information that you have regarding your finances. And in studio right now, I have Sam DeBord with Coldwell Banker Danforth. We're going to talk today with Sam on Realtor safety. We're going to talk about constructive inventory. Sam, thank you so much for coming back in studio. It's always a pleasure to chat with you.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me, Tina.
And a little background about Sam. Sam is the director of Seattle King County Realtors and 2016 president-elect. He's managing broker with Coldwell Banker Danforth and his team, Seattle Homes Group. Sam's top producer for Coldwell Banker Danforth International President Circle team and sells real estate across the greater Seattle region. He's leveraging technology for his clients with the most popular local agent websites, seattlehome.com and seattlecondo.com. And interesting topic, Sam, today, and I think it's important for all of our realtors that are out there in the market, and also for the consumers to have an understanding of safety and things that are happening. So let's start out with why are we hearing so much more right now about realtor safety concerns?
Sure. I think there have been a few stories in the news that have come up lately that have really sort of crystallized the issue for a lot of us in the industry. Last year there was a murder of a realtor that really got a lot of people on board with the cause of saying we need to actually address this. Mm-hmm. It happens not a lot, but frequently enough that it's pretty scary for people, but we all go back to our jobs. We all go do what we do day to day, and we don't do anything particularly constructive to really try to stop it. So our president of National Association of Realtors this year has made that his focus for the year. Wow. And we just had a story, actually, we just heard from a board in Atlanta last night that one of their realtors was attacked showing a property to someone at a home outside of Atlanta. So it happens more frequently than we see in the news. Mm-hmm. And we're really looking for a way to concretely find a way to help people avoid those situations. Yeah,
and I would imagine if somebody wants to do something bad and get a loan with somebody, a realtor is kind of set up for that scenario. So is it really a dangerous job?
It can be. It can be, most people think of it as just a regular professional job, but there are a lot of people who are out, they're meeting new clients they've never met before at vacant properties. That's the number one issue that we're concerned about. And obviously there are all kinds of ways that us being out in the field, constantly being at new homes, new businesses, new areas where we could run into problems. But we're one of the few professions where we will take a phone call and if we're in a rush, run out to meet somebody at a property we've never met sight unseen. Yeah. And it really does create a lot of hazards for us in the workplace.
So for our realtors listening to the show, what are some tips in safety that they should be doing? What are they doing? I know you mentioned a couple things that they're doing wrong right now. What are some tips that you can share and things for them to watch out for?
Sure. Something we're really trying to emphasize is to meet new clients in a public place and verify their ID. Okay. The traditional style was to always meet a client in your office, have a sit down and talk beforehand. Mm-hmm. And while that's absolutely the best way to do business, still the reality of technology and the way some new tech companies are informing the consumer is that they think they can show up at a property anytime they want. They can have somebody show up and open the door. They don't have to know their name. They don't have to have a pre-approval, et cetera. So we're trying to help people help realtors adapt to that mindset without going overboard and being the so-called Pop-Tart agent who just runs anytime someone calls.
Yeah. Do you think it's more risk for a female realtor than it is for you as a male?
Statistically, it is,
Okay.
but there have definitely been reports of males. There was actually a man in Western Washington who was murdered a few years back at a vacant property. So what we're trying to do is get everybody on board and saying this is not just a one-office issue. This isn't just a one city or one state.
Yes.
We need to have all brokerages, and what we're hoping is to have mortgage lenders, title companies as well, all come in and say, you can use my office. If it's easier, stop in and see somebody at my
Great
office.
idea.
Because if you've got a client who wants to see something in North Seattle and your office is in West Seattle, you could ask them to drive to West Seattle, but they're probably just going to call the next person to see who will jump. But if your mortgage person has 5 offices and we can stop in there and say, instead of driving 10 miles, meet me at the mortgage office. These are my professional partners, and we'll, drive 2 minutes away and then we'll go back over. And really trying to create a standard through what we're calling the Open Door Partners Project to really allow everyone to understand this is something that can be available to them in their area.
Yeah, and Sam, that my office in Bellevue and my high-rise right on 108
Absolutely.
is always
We've
open.
been there.
We've got it's got some beautiful office space, and what a great idea. And that's it just gives me an idea to just call my real estate professionals and go, you know what, just in case you didn't know, we've got the ability to be able to meet your clients at our office. So let's I want to ask on the seller side really quickly here, Sam, on with open houses. I mean, are there things that are still happening that for sellers at risk of actually bringing strangers into their house for open houses? What can they do? Is it a good idea that they're having them?
It's something they need to be educated on. It's going to be up to the individual seller. There are lots of agents who would say, I don't see the benefit. We're going to sell this home. 90+% of sales don't come from open houses.
Yep.
You could argue that maybe only 1% of sales really actually come from open houses. But there are things that realtors can do for their safety in terms of having 2 people at an open house, which is difficult. Sellers need to understand that people will come in and go through your drawers. They're looking for prescription drugs. They're looking for jewelry. You've got unverified people who many of them are looky-loos. They may be the person who's going to call their neighbor, though. And that's always the thought. We're always afraid of missing that 1%er that's going to be the sale. So just take a real long look at what's actually going on in an open house and how likely that is to really sell your home when really almost everyone's searching on the internet. They're going to know your home's for sale. And if you still decide that it's a reasonable thing to do, allow your agent to do that safely.
Got it. So just have that conversation with your seller, educate them, they can make that decision. So let's get back to the Open Door Partner Program and how it works. Sure.
So anyone can sign up who has a professional space in the real estate industry. Our biggest partners actually have been mortgage lenders so far.
Okay.
The website is up at meetmeherefirst.com. It's called Open Door Partners. If you Google that, you'll probably find it. But it's very informal. You don't need to have meeting space. You don't need to give coffee to people, anything like that. Just allow people to say, these are my hours. Here's when I'm open. And I'm okay with you meeting a new client in your front lobby space or by your front desk.
Okay.
And just by signing your office up on there, you're putting yourself on a map that's basically going to be open for real estate agents nationwide. So then when the agent gets a call for a property in, let's say, Ballard, they can pull up the map and say, okay, I'm going to look at Ballard. Here's 2 mortgage offices. Let me stop into the closest one.
Okay.
It's partially about the logistics. It's partially about having an office to have that meeting, but it's also maybe even more about the idea to be able to tell that person on the phone, this is a new standard for realtors nationwide. We have a safety procedure. I need to meet you here, and I'm going to check your ID. It takes away the Pop-Tart issue.
Of course.
They believe everyone has a standard nationwide because this is a group that actually is making a nationwide standard for the way we work. And it also tells the person who may want to do you harm, you probably don't even want to make the appointment. They'll probably make an excuse. They probably won't come.
Sure.
And it's really preventing these kinds of crimes against realtors that we're really focusing on as opposed to trying to, find ways to identify someone who's in trouble. We'd rather make the appointment not happen at all.
What a brilliant idea. And for any mortgage professionals listening or title reps listening, I mean, what a great idea for us as well. It gives us an opportunity to offer service to our Realtors, which that's really what we want to do is we want to be there for you, build those relationships and partnerships and do some great things for the consumer. So right now. And how long is it been around? Has this been up in?
We just put up the prototype a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Because the idea has been brewing for a while. We've been trying to build it. We wanted to show people what it worked like.
Okay.
And then a mortgage national real estate post came out with a crazy shark attack realtor safety video. We had 200 signups in about 2 hours that morning. So it's sort of picking up steam really quickly right now, especially with the mortgage industry.
That is awesome. So is it working there's a lot of activity that's just recent happened. So that's an example that it is going to work. People are signing up for it. I'm definitely going to have the office sign up when I get back.
Great.
It's really, really exciting. So can you share with my listeners about the virtual video that had such a huge impact?
Sure. So it was really great marketing. Had no idea it was going to happen. I just woke up one morning and saw these signups starting to pour in once a minute. Basically,
once a minute, wow.
If anyone saw the shark attack video on the surfer on Facebook, you couldn't help but click on it. It was you couldn't take your eyes off of it. So they wrapped that into the idea that there was an attack, but no pro surfers have died this year in the line of duty. No stunt bike drivers have died. No, any of these crazy jobs had died during the line of duty this year, but 25 real estate pros had died this year. Or maybe it was this past year, I believe. So it was sort of making the conclusion that no one would normally come to, that your job actually is more dangerous than these folks. Yes, they do crazy things, but they're not getting murdered. And it's happening every year to real estate agents, and you need to take it seriously.
Unbelievable. So, and I would imagine that National Association of Realtors is a big supporter of the cause.
They're supporting us in terms of marketing right now.
Okay.
As a trade organization, they don't want to be pushy. They don't want to say to their member brokers, you have to do this, because it wouldn't be right. But they're helping us in terms of getting the word out.
The encouragement.
And those really forward-thinking brokers realize it's a good idea.
Yeah.
They realize they can recruit other people's agents if they're out and they're coming into their own offices.
Yeah, so let me ask you, why would a realtor not want this? I mean, you've got a location that is really, really close. It's a professional environment. Why would not all realtors see this as a benefit? And it's safe.
Individual members absolutely would. To be frank, there's some cranky old real estate brokers out there. They don't want agents from X office coming in. They don't want agents who do this business model coming in. And we're independent business people. We all own our own businesses. It's okay. It's kind of why we get into the business, because we're entrepreneurial like that. But we have to allow that for them. But as the momentum builds, it's going to be fairly obvious to people that this is a good idea. And our offices have always done it. Sort of, it's been somewhat informal, but it's a recruiting tool for our brokers to meet more people.
Awesome. Sam, thank you so much for bringing this into studio. I'm excited to get on board. I'm excited to see how it takes off, and again, just a really great opportunity to benefit everybody. And we want you guys to be safe out there.
Absolutely. We appreciate any support you can give for us. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in, Sam. Coming up next on the Money Hour, what are the new lending regulations and why are they so important for buyers and sellers in today's real estate market? Greg Pearl with Coldwell Banker Bain right here at 1150 AM KKNW after the short break.